This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about a fundraiser in Ephrata to raise money for the United Service Organizations supporting the troops. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Amid the chatter of Wanda's restaurant patrons, you'll find a display with water bottles asking for donations to the USO. American Legion Art Semro Unit 28 and an Ephrata restaurant owner have teamed up to raise money for the USO. The USO, also known as the United Services Organization, supports the troops. Wanda Fensel, who has owned and operated Wanda's Cafe for 15 years on Basin Street in Ephrata, is giving away special USO bottles for donations to the organization.
If they donate $20 or more, they get a free water bottle.
USO has been around since the beginning of World War II. Fensel, a ladies' auxiliary member for the Soap Lake Veterans of Foreign Wars, shared why she supports the USO.
It helps the veterans and their families.
Fensel, whose late husband was a Vietnam War veteran, set up a display in her restaurant for the American Legion's project. The restaurant's wall exhibits photos of veterans, some who have passed on. It's how Fensel honors veterans, including her late husband Don, who served in the Navy in Vietnam. Her brother also served in Vietnam. Jane Montaigne, Ephrata American Legion Unit 28 auxiliary member, talked about the USO that serves Washington.
Our USO is called USO Northwest. It serves, according to the statistics, and this was as a few years back, it was over 540,000 military personnel. And so if you multiply that by their families, you can imagine how many people that they're trying to assist.
She explained how local support for the USO began.
Basically, it started when I was the state president for the American Legion Auxiliary. I had the opportunity to tour one of the USO sites out at what is now Joint Base Lewis McChord.
The USO offers morale, welfare, and recreational type services. The USO provides America's troops and their families support through activity centers, entertainment, and innovative programs and services. The USO is a nonprofit organization that receives no government assistance. Mike Montaigne, who is adjutant for American Legion Post 28, used the USO services when he served in the Army in Memphis, Tennessee. He later served on the Memphis USO Board of Directors. He recalled the fun and entertainment he received compliments of the USO.
They had USO hostess, all college girls, and we'd play cards. I learned to play bridge in the USO, ping pong, pool. They had dances at least once a month. And it was all, like Jane said, it was a home away from home.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
The Grant PUD recently finalized a settlement agreement with Crescent Bar residents, allowing them to stay on the island. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. The motion carried.
The Grant PUD Commissioners voted Tuesday to finalize a settlement agreement with the residents of Crescent Bar Island and to also keep its golf course in the utilities public recreation development plan for the island. The settlement resolves a lawsuit filed by residents against the PUD in 2011 and establishes a new lease which runs until 2052. U.S. District Court Judge Justin Quackenbush urged both sides to pursue a settlement during the litigation process, and the agreement has taken more than a year to resolve. Board President Dale Walker cast the lone dissenting vote for the settlement, saying he had reservations about the island's residents following through on their end, which calls for upgrades to wastewater treatment and fire safety infrastructure.
Again, I'm going to vote no on the motion, but it's with a little bit of a heavy heart, but I'm I'm very concerned about whether or not the people at Crescent Bar will do what they say they will do.
Commissioner Tom Flynn voted with Walker against keeping the golf course in the Public Recreation Development Plan, saying residents have other options for golf in the Grant County area. In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, I'm Cristina Sanchez with your local weather, brought to you by your iFIBER 1's Inside Look. You can watch it tonight on iFIBER1.com. We do have a high pressure system over the Pacific Northwest that has brought in that hot and dry weather pattern that will continue for this weekend, with highs right around 100 degrees, 105 degrees for us across the area. We do have high fire danger all across the region due to those high temperatures and dry conditions. This dry weather pattern that will continue throughout the next few days. We do expect to have a cooling trend, but this will be until midweek next week, obviously. Now, sunset for tonight right around at 8:33. We did started off the day in the low 60s, right around average for this time of year. High temperatures for us here in Ephrata right around 105, not quite breaking that record high temperature set back in 1971, and tying the record high temperature for you in Moses Lake with high temperature right around 105 degrees. Your sunset at 8:32 for tonight, and currently temperatures are still on the hot side, not comfortable out there at all. Plenty of sunshine, highs. Right now temperatures are right around 100 degrees and winds blowing from southwest up to 10 miles an hour. Dry conditions will continue throughout this evening and also for Saturday, Sunday, still a dry weather pattern with highs right around 105 degrees. Once again, cloud cover will be taking place as we begin the next work week, and by midweek we'll have a decrease in temperatures with highs right around the low 90s, which will be right around average for this time of year. For you in Seattle, you do have a heat advisory for today and for Saturday, with highs right around the low 90s. Plenty of sunshine. Yakima Valley highs around 105, and in the northwest, plenty of sunshine once again with highs right around 100 degrees. For us here in Ephrata, 104 for the Saturday afternoon. Royal City 105 as the high, and throughout this more than summer heat, limit your physical activity outdoors, and also drink plenty of water and stay out of the direct sunlight throughout the day. And definitely, if you have to go out there, wear sunscreen and check on those who may be susceptible to heat illnesses, and obviously stay in air-conditioned places. That is the best place to beat the heat. Highs will be in the mid-90s for Monday, then decrease in temperatures by midweek. They will be right around seasonable high temperatures for this time of year in the low 90s by Wednesday. Then Thursday, look at that. Highs will be right around the mid-80s. Low temperatures will continue to be right around the mid to upper 60s for this Saturday and Sunday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. We'll be right back with sports.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
River Dogs are back on the practice diamond, making some final tweaks before heading to Southern Oregon for the Senior Babe Ruth World Series. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
After winning the Pacific Northwest Regional Qualifier in Calgary, Alberta, the Columbia Basin River Dogs qualified for the Senior Babe Ruth World Series in Klamath Falls, Oregon. This is the 14th time in the River Dogs' 22-year history they will be competing in the World Series. River Dogs skipper Randy Boroff likes playing down in Klamath Falls and can't wait to get his team down there.
We've had wonderful memories at Klamath Falls. We won the regional tournament in 1998, right before we won the World Series. And in 2013, we won the regional tournament in Klamath Falls and went to Alabama. And so we're hoping that 2015 is a special year for us.
The World Series begins Saturday, August 8th. Coach Boroff likes his team's chemistry as his players prepare for a championship run.
This was special. We have a lot of young kids on our team, and so we get to play and practice for today. Well, we leave a week from tomorrow, so and then we got 3 days before we play. So we got 11 days of being together.
One player looking to have a big tournament is Ephrata's own Josh Kallstrom. Josh plays first base for the River Dogs and will be playing for Coach Doman up at Big Bend next season. Josh is a great offensive player, but says his defense is what has really improved playing for the River Dogs.
This year, actually, my defense, I feel like has come a lot farther than in the past. I've been really excited about that. My hitting, it's kind of been on and off, so I also hope to improve in that, but I've really been happy with my defense.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Rumor has the River Dogs hosting the World Series tournament in 2016 or 17. The Seahawks and Russell Wilson have come to terms on a 4-year extension worth $87.6 million. Sports Illustrated first reported the deal, of which $60 million is guaranteed. The contract puts Wilson on par with Packer QB Aaron Rodgers, who is the league's highest paid player at $22 million annually. There are a lot of folks happy Wilson got his big money. I, for one, am not. He's a mediocre quarterback at best, functioning in an offensive scheme that the majority of signal callers in the league could step into, in my opinion. He's not on the same level as Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, or Big Ben Roethlisberger, and shouldn't be compensated as if he were. The Hawks should have let him play out his contract and put the franchise tag on him next season, but the deal is done, and he would have been a fool not to have signed on the dotted line. The Hawks still have big money issues to deal with, like securing all-pro middle linebacker Bobby Wagner. Michael Bennett wants more dough, and Cam Chancellor is intent on getting a pay raise. He was a no-show at training camp today. Here's hoping there is enough money left in the coffers to get these defensive studs taken care of too. Have a good weekend. Try to stay cool. We'll be back after this break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Our next story is about a new monument in Quincy honoring longtime volunteer firefighters. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
A monument to those who dedicated more than 20 years of their lives to fighting fires in and around Quincy and George was recently completed. It comes at a time when the wildfire season of 2015 is shaping up to be the worst on record in Grant County Fire District 3. That gives the monument all the more meaning.
You know, to be real honest with you, I've never seen a summer like this. I've never seen a summer like this. So several of them are human caused, and a wind event comes along with it, and we usually don't have a big fire unless there's wind pushing it.
The Frenchman Hills Interstate 90 fire was the most recent blaze that closed Interstate 90. The other two wildfires of significance this summer were at Monument Hill and Beasley Hills. That's approaching 5,000 acres turned into ash and sand by wildfires in District 3 this summer. And it's only July. Don Fortier has been District 3 chief for 12 years, but his firefighting career spans 40 years. The 3-year-long monument project at the District 3 station on Central Avenue in Quincy lists the names of more than 40 firefighters who gave their community more than 20 years as volunteers. Fortier says the monument was created by a number of volunteers with thousands of dollars in community and business donations supporting it.
Probably 30 folks in the fire district that were some part or the other worked on it. And a lot of outside help too. We've had a mason came in and laid up the block. We had a lot of corporate sponsorship for the granite. There's a lot of people just helped out in many different ways.
The fire chief shared how the monument idea came about.
I think it was just kind of a department idea that we wanted to see that happen and recognize. A lot of us had parents or uncles and aunts that were founding fathers of this fire district and neighbors, and we just wanted to make sure that everybody's recognized. And devoting 20 years to an organization in the fire, like the fire service, is something that should be recognized, and that was our goal.
The corner of the property was reserved for such a monument when the station was built. Fire District 3 has more than 80 volunteer firefighters scattered over 7 fire stations in the district. Fortier says benches and a picnic table are expected to be added as finishing touches to make the monument inviting to visitors who might want to stop for lunch. Fortier summed up the appreciation behind the monument.
It's nice that we can recognize the folks that have spent so much time and have given so much of their time and energy towards the fire, protecting the people of this community.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back. The next story is about a memorial for a Moses Lake girl with Down syndrome who recently passed away. Hundreds of balloons were released in her honor. Reporter Cameron Probert was there and has the story.
We are going to miss your sweet little voice. All of the hellos and hi, all over and over again.
Parents of Natasha Hastings shared the words to a group of people gathered in McCosh Park Friday evening. The Moses Lake girl died unexpectedly last week after receiving surgery to treat sleep apnea. The Down Syndrome Society of Grant County held a memorial to remember her. Lisa Borman, a society member, said the society feels they are a family and they wanted to gather to celebrate Natasha's life.
Community has been amazing. We've had community come and support with donations and with supplies to make this event happen, and Dutch Brothers and what they did for today. It's just amazing to watch the community come out.
Borman, Carrie Aronson, and Brittany Brown said Natasha was full of life and she loved music and twisty bracelets.
We do a buddy walk for Down syndrome awareness, and the whole family has been a part of that buddy walk since we began doing the buddy walk here in Moses Lake, and she's a huge part of our buddy walk and our family, and she's just full of joy, and she's great. People come out and dress up. She loves the bear and all the little costume people that came out, and she was just a child, and she was just full of joy and love. And
the group gathered at Centennial Amphitheater, prayed, and shared memories of Natasha. As people spoke, they released balloons.
Natasha and her parents loved balloons, and so we have 300 balloons, blue and yellow, which are the colors for the National Down Syndrome Society, and we're going to release them in memory.
People wrote messages to Natasha on the balloons, and they were released above the park. Aronson read the message from Natasha's parents to the crowd.
But most of all, you taught us patience and how to be strong. Thank you, Natasha Anna, for being one of the best blessings of our lives. We missed you to pieces, our sweet ladybug. Fly high, little butterfly. God bless.
For iFiber One News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about a new seafood restaurant in Moses Lake. Reporter Jeff Chu spoke with the restaurant's owner and has the story.
There's a new place in Moses Lake that caters to seafood lovers. Old Doghouse Restaurant and Lounge recently opened at 417 West Broadway Avenue. Co-owner and chef Todd Green explained why he's specializing in fish and shellfish meals.
When I came here, I kind of started looking around for maybe a place to do a seafood restaurant. Or actually it was going to be just a regular restaurant, and we decided seafood once we got here after running around and noticing that there wasn't really any place to get good seafood.
Green says he will buy fresh fish and shellfish from Western Washington sources and Alaska. The restaurant seats up to 45 people for lunch and dinner, and the lounge seats up to 10. Entertainment will be dished up as well with karaoke and open mic and dance nights. Old Doghouse will offer comedy acts every couple of months. Old Doghouse is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFiber One News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.